So, what should I call it? What's a good name for... What are you calling your sword, Engrin?
The sword.
Oh.
So I haven't named it. I didn't know I was supposed to.
Well, no, I mean, it's just kind of like... You get a cool sword, like the first thing you do is you give it a cool name.
Well,
you know?
what I've been saying is, like that cool sword we got underneath the mill.
TCWGUTM.
TM.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look, man. I am the bard. I have to start, like, you know, I can't just say, and then Engrin took his blade that he found beneath the mill and slayed the demon with it. You know, it needs to be, and then he lifted Robo-Spear. The reckoning. The
Robo-Spear the sword.
Yeah, well, you know, like, hey, come on. We're riffing here, okay?
Yeah. Sorry.
And then he filled it with lightning power and drove it through the demon's heart. See, that's much more oomph. There's some oomph to that, you know? Not the blade from beneath the mill.
Why not the blade from beneath the mill?
The silver blade from the undertomb.
Ooh, yeah, really see, right there.
See, but it's not even under the tomb. It was like the room next door.
It was an adjacent.
All right, I'm calling my bow Quicksilver.
All right.
Adjacent tomb blade.
Ooh, tomb blade is pretty good.
Tomb blade is pretty good.
The tomb blade is pretty good.
That is pretty good. But can we adjacent?
Would that make...
See, now I am glad that I'm calling it Quicksilver because that is, like, in the words of Sandor Clegane, a cunt thing to name your sword. Well, though, Tomb Blade sounds cool. Tomb Blade sounds like that is, like, you know, it's not even like a name that you came up with. It's just a name that the weapon took on itself. But Quicksilver sounds like something that a little boy would name his, like, first slingshot, you know?
And I like, if we followed the, like, Tomb Blade format, then we would end up with, like, what? Like, fucking...
Hobblebow?
Hutbow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hutbow.
Yeah, Hutbow.
Ichuniwanga. But it'd be like Jabba the Hutt, you know, not, and then Thiradin turns into Jabba the Hutt. Stick with me here. Ichuni solo.
No, I'm not sticking with you here.
It's better than Italian.
But you. I mean, look, we could sew your legs together. Get you bit by some kind of weird vampire slug.
Bando te cando.
Yes.
Anyway, D&D, huh?
Anyway, D&D, huh?
It's really just last session because I know that we got into the hovel. I found my cool bow.
I think that's where we stopped.
And yeah, like I just couldn't remember if there was anything that we were like that we had on the docket because I know that there's the town meeting that we have to get back to.
That's the thing on the docket.
That's the big one. I want to go find this toad.
On top of the town meeting, I would argue it's more important than the town meeting is finding our kobold friend Fran.
Yeah, I'll check in on Fran. Now that we're having this crazy over-the-hedge journey, and we're out in the shticks, and I got my bow, I'll follow you around if you want to go, I don't know, kill the giant frog, and then go find Fran.
I have no desire to kill the frog.
But here's the thing. Thiradin really wants to go find this frog. Because, you keep telling Thiradin that it was a big fucking frog, but Theradin's pretty sure that it was just, like, a little, like, pond hopper, you know, like...
It was bigger than me.
And so I'm like checking out the balance of my bow and stuff and checking over the arrows and I'm kind of going like, yeah, but like, was it? Like,
no, it was. I showed you the bite marks. How would something that's just a little frog leave that large of a bite mark?
And I kind of like look at you and I kind of like squint my eyes like I still don't believe you.
Fine, I'll show you where it is.
Okay.
I'd like to walk to the house where I fell down.
Exiting the small stone cabin, it's quite bright outside after being used to just like the dim blue light inside the cabin, and you walk across the little courtyard, deserted well in the middle, collapsed stables off to the side with big part of a tree slammed down on it. And then there's this square 2-story house that is quite run down. The door long ago has fallen off. There's a tree growing up through the house and blooming out of the top. As you step inside Thiradin, you see there's broken furniture scattered. It looks like anything that would have been worth anything would have been taken long ago. Various moss and lichen grow on surfaces. And you see a badly damaged staircase going up. And as you walk up, you see that there is a rope tied off on one of the handrails that goes down into a slightly larger than an Engrin-sized hole into darkness. And you smell just kind of a faint, like, dank wetness down there.
I kind of look at Engrin and I kind of like motion towards the hole. He says, "Is that where you found it?"
Yeah, the staircase fell down, and I fell into his den.
Do frogs really have dens?
I mean, look at it. There it is. I don't know what else to call it.
I kind of look down into the hole. Do I see any giant frog?
Roll me a perception.
All right, that's an 11.
You look and peek around. It's pretty dim down there. The only light is coming in through the hole, and then you can see that the massive tree that's jutting through the whole house, its roots are down and cover most of the basement floor. And then there's light leaking around where its trunk shoves up through the floors above. But overall, you can't really see anything other than tangles of roots and water.
Can I see a little frog?
You do not.
Can there be a little frog down there that I see?
I mean, if you want to say you see one, you can say that, but you don't see a small frog down there.
Bummer. And I kind of like turn back and I shrug and I say, all right. You know, I suppose in a world of magic demons and weird lizard people and magic bows and swords and stones, a giant frog shouldn't be like that unbelievable, you know?
Yeah. Are you good? Are you convinced?
I'm not good. I'm gonna be honest, Engrin. I haven't been good since we jumped off the wall, and even slightly before that, I wasn't great. But like, all things considered, now that I got this, and I kind of like lift up my bow, yeah, I'm doing a bit better.
It's a pretty cool bow there. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of stole it. Now that I'm thinking back, do you think anybody lived there?
I don't think anybody lived there.
All right. Yeah, you know, what's a stolen bow between strangers, you know?
It had the symbol of Grovehold. If anything, one
that
of
is
our
weird,
ancestors used to live there. So, you know, it's probably our birthright to take that bow.
Wait. Hey, that's actually a great question. Where did our ancestors come from?
I'm pretty sure they came from just around. I think that they were just a bunch of humans.
We should try to find their original home. Don't you think? Maybe we can learn more?
That might be interesting. We could probably start asking around for people's like last names. There might be a few distant cousins.
And I think that over for a moment, and I kind of nod my head. And then I kind of turn back to the hole, and I yell down into it, "Hey, killer frog! Last chance!"
Yeah, roll me a whatever kind of charisma thing you want to roll for this.
Let's do, I guess, persuasion? Can I persuade the giant frog?
Why not?
Okay, cool. So I got a 6.
All right. You yell out, and you hear some kind of movement in the water, something slight, like something shifted its weight or kind of was started a little bit, but you don't see anything in the darkness.
And then I kind of turn back to Engrin, shrug, and I say, you know, we should probably get back to town, you know,
all right.
For the meeting.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know. I guess back in town I didn't really get to thank you for getting me to that to the doctor's.
Well, I didn't get you to the doctor. I got the route for you.
Sure, but you know, you still help me out. So thanks.
For sure. We gotta watch each other's back out here. You never know.
Right. We're family. We got to do that.
Yeah.
That's what Billy would want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vroom vroom.
Vroom
You
vroom.
guys head on back.
Yeah, we're vrooming through it, man.
Woo! Yeah, you guys just do a quick vroom vroom through the forest. It's about a 2-hour walk back. It's quite pretty. So you guys get back. You weren't there for too long, so it'll be like early to mid-afternoon-ish. You know that the town meeting is going to be held at sundown. So you've got a couple hours, and as you walk back into Grovehold along the main path, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go?
Grovehold?
Or not Grovehold, excuse me, Row.
We're home!
It was like memories came flooding back.
We did it!
You No. You entered into Row, not Grovehold.
So we get into Row, and I'm kind of thinking about still trying to find out kind of why our ancestors decided to lock themselves away. Let's go back to the tavern. I'm going to ask after a library, see if the town has any kind of collected learning.
Cool. You guys make your way back to Marlowe's Tavern and Inn, and I guess Roadhouse would be an accurate way to describe it.
Nice.
Going back in, you see Marlowe is standing there at the bar. He's reading that same blue-covered book he was reading before, and just kind of idly looks up and waves when you guys walk in. Engrin, Danny, good to see you.
Oh, yes, Marlowe. How are you?
Doing quite well.
Good. Quick question.
All right, you go first.
Right. Does Row happen to have some kind of library? Anywhere that we can read old scrolls, tomes, that kind of stuff?
No, not particular. We honestly, most of our learning here is done through oral tradition. If you were to, I mean, it's a several days journey, but if you were to head north, and there's a village in the mountain where they have some, and of course off to the east, Greymont, Janswick, the larger cities, have more scholarly collections.
Greymont and what was the second one?
Janswick.
Janswick. Oh, so there are more towns than just Row?
Yes, there's more towns. We lost a lot in the war, but there are towns still.
But Row is like the largest, correct?
No, not by a long shot. Row's just a small village.
And I kind of like blink, and then I kind of look to Engrin like, holy shit.
What did I say?
Right. So, if I might ask, where did you get that book, Marlowe?
This I bought it off of a merchant passing through.
I see. Marlowe, the name Ossran doesn't mean anything to you, does it?
Ossran. I can't say it does.
How about I?
No. I'm sorry. I hear quite a bit, running the Roadhouse, but I'm not familiar with either of those names.
What about Frederick?
Frederick
Stone?
I mean,
Tome?
I
Tone?
don't. I know of Frederick, who's a merchant, but his last name is Larms, so probably not the same Frederick.
Well, maybe I'll ask him.
Well, you'll have to wait a couple months for him to pass through, but if you stay in town that long, I'll be sure to introduce you to.
Awesome, thank you.
Now, I do have a question for you.
Oh, yeah, sure. What's up?
Would you two be willing to speak at the town meeting tonight about what happened out at that old tower?
Yeah, we were planning on coming already.
We're coming, but...
Excellent. I mean, you two are the only ones who we've met that know what really happened there.
Well, there was also our kobold friends.
You mentioned them.
Yeah. If we find them, they'll also have some information. Perhaps they saw something we didn't.
Excellent. Maybe I don't keep much track of where the kobolds live, but Cecil might know something. He spent a lot more time in the woods than I have.
It's possible that Hogg's group has reconvened at the place where we were found.
It's unfortunately it's a several-hour walk.
Yeah, we
back
probably
to the
wouldn't make
tower.
it back by the time the meeting was happening.
No, I suspect not. Though that might be something worth looking into. More information is be quite nice.
And
in
also,
circumstance.
they were nice people.
It's glad to hear it. They've never been. I mean, they have been known to do the occasional raid, but they're fairly harmless as far as bandits go. Nobody's ever gotten hurt.
I think that we could get them to change their ways.
I'm just listening, and every time Engrin speaks, like I kind of like look over at him, like, what are you talking about? Like, we can't change the demons. And I think at this point I've kind of like wandered off because I think I've gone over and I've sat down, and I'm just gonna let them talk, and I'm gonna collect my thoughts for a bit.
Cool. Are you sitting at a table or the bar?
Yeah, I'll sit at the table. At a table.
Cool. Yeah, you go sit down at an empty table and, contemplate.
I'm trying to think if there's anything that I want to accomplish before the meeting tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Engrin, anything on your mind?
Not particularly.
Well, in that case... I'll say that I perform. I perform in the inn for a bit.
Cool.
Kind of earn my keep. Just singing a few songs. I'm practicing. I'm trying to write a little ditty about Engrin fighting the frog, but I'm obviously not like I have a bit of a musical ability, but I think I'm still a bit like when it comes to writing my own music. I'm not exactly Shakespeare.
You're a little green.
A little green. And so I just keep kind of going, there once was a hero named Engrin Ai. And then kind of like strumming for a bit.
I kind of put my head down and cover my face a little.
And he fought
A demon.
a frog.
A demon.
Fought a frog.
I had a disagreement with the frog. I fought the demon.
And I kind of like wave him off, like he's kind of sitting at the table, and I kind of go, no, I got this. There once was a hero, and that goes on for about...
Named Ragnar the Red.
The Red, who rode into Row from Old Grove Old Stead. He blustered and drank all our mead. Now I think it's high time that you lie down and bleed.
You
So that goes on for
proceed
about
to
an hour.
attack Engrin.
Oddly familiar.
Yeah, well, you know, the tale of Ragnar the Red is big in Grovehold.
Mm-hmm. Of course. I mean, who could forget Ragnar the Red?
Yeah. So that's me basically just plucking for inspiration for a few hours, making small talk with the locals. Is there anybody that I can just kind of make small talk conversation with, kind of chum up with, in the tavern right now, other than Marlowe?
Yeah. There's various merchants that are passing through. You also see some locals. What kind of person would you like to talk to?
I don't know. I think Thiradin's feeling a bit upset that him and our great friend Vivian. I think he's a bit scorned by Vivian right now. So if there's any fair maidens of Row who enter, he might dedicate a song or two to them as kind of his own personal way of getting back into the game. But also anybody who looks like they might be worth some cash. So like you said, those merchants and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Thiradin is not above gold digging, especially in this new world.
All right.
And if there's an old merchant who needs a personal bard or something that will keep Thiradin safe and away from killing demons, he might kind of be on on the lookout for that.
Yeah, okay. I think both those things can happen. I mean, there's definitely, as far as people that have money around, it's most definitely the merchants.
Right.
Or at least if anybody in Row has money, you wouldn't know it by looking at how they dress. They all are wearing fairly simple clothing. Marlowe's the most extravagant dressed person in town,
God,
and even that's still pretty
badass
toned down.
motherfucker.
It's pretty great.
If I notice that Thiradin's kind of rubbing elbows with one of the merchants, I'd like to go and sit and talk with whichever one he ends up singing for.
There's a portly man with the like medieval beret with the little feather.
A cap.
Yes. And so there's a guy in that wearing like a thick leather vest and a nice undershirt, and you've learned that he deals in fur and other fabrics, and his name is
Steve Petty.
Nope. Shit. My brain's just going to the names that I generated earlier today.
Isn't it great?
Coco.
Coco Chanel.
Himley. Yeah, Chanel. Himley Chanel.
Nice.
Himley?
Darling.
Is that an Enley or a Emily?
Himley. Himley is sitting there, and you come and sit down next to him, Engrin, as Thiradin has been wooing him with songs.
Hi, I'm Engrin.
Himley shakes you firm hand.
Nice to meet you. That's my cousin singing.
Excellent. He's quite good.
Yeah, he just happened upon it one day.
Just kind of fell into the hobby.
Yeah, he fell pretty far down the wall of learning how to play flute.
Isn't it down the well?
Oh no, it was down a wall.
He gives you a kind of odd look. I don't think I've seen you two before in Row on any of my previous passings. Are you new here?
We are new here. Yeah, we're new in town. We just got here from Grovehold to the south.
Grovehold? I'm not familiar.
It's the one to the south. I don't know how many days' journey it is because we kind of got knocked out and found. So I don't.
He raises his eyebrows in alarm. Oh, are you okay?
It was a little disorienting, but now we're around a bunch of people, which is pretty cool. We weren't sure if humanity had survived the war.
You must be from quite a remote village indeed, then.
Yeah, it's got 300-foot walls, and no one's allowed to leave.
Oh. Well, I was going to ask if you had any trade routes, but I suppose you wouldn't with that.
So, I have been thinking, if we can convince them that it's safe and dig a hole through the wall, you might be able to get some new customers. There's about 300 people who live there, I think.
How thick is this wall?
It's pretty thick. It would take a long time to, and I'm pretty sure it's magic. I don't know how.
So, I overhear Engrin, and I kind of strike a chord, then run over, and I go, "Oh, don't mind my cousin. He's a bit of a dreamer."
I don't mind him at all. We were just having a good talk.
Right, and I kind of look to Engrin and I whisper, "He's very rich, and he could help us out.
Yeah,
Don't screw this up."
What do you mean screw it up? I'm just talking to him about our past.
He's just kind of... He looks kind of amused that you guys are whispering to each other and takes a sip of his drink.
And I think we're obviously whispering, like, at least Thiradin is loud enough. I don't think he has a very good grasp on his volume. And so, like, Himley might even hear some of this. I don't know if you have realized this, Engrin, but our past has kind of got the attention of the entire town, and I think it'd be best if we just kind of keep a low profile. That being said, we are going to a meeting to discuss our past. You know what?
What are you talking about? Like, what kind of consequences are we going to have?
Well, I don't know. I'm just thinking about it now.
These are nice people. These are
okay,
good
but
people. These are
not-
hardworking, good people.
Yeah, okay, sure. You're probably right.
They're
I might just be-
well-humored. They like your songs.
Yeah, everyone likes my songs.
What's wrong? Just open up to them. See, look. Me and Hemley, we just met. We're best friends.
He raises his glass and gives a little chuckle.
So,
Best might be a little fast, but
I looked at Himley like, is this true?
I wouldn't say best friends,
And
but
then
I am
before he
enjoying your
finishes,
company.
I turn back to Theradin, or Engrin. I turn back to myself. It's self-reflective. And I kind
Yes.
of look at Engrin, and I go, I just think, look, I don't know. I just feel like we shouldn't be having this conversation now, is what I'm thinking. Especially in front of our new best friend.
okay,
And
fine.
I kind of looked at Himley like,
Fine. Whatever. So, Hemley, where are you from? Since apparently we can't talk about where I'm from.
Well, I'm from out east. Have you ever heard of the village of Bushcliff?
I have not. I haven't heard of any villages, unfortunately.
I mean,
now
you
what
know the
exactly
map.
is a village?
You know the world map? Because there was an old map. I guess I don't know. Was that something that Engrin would have studied?
Was it in my house?
Yeah, it would have been in your house for sure.
Then I actually definitely would have studied it.
I hear Bushcliff, and then I kind of walk away and go back to the my little stage, and I kind of play a quick note, and I go, there once was a woman who had quite the Bushcliff.
Oh God, okay.
Oh no. Okay.
you see, Marlo
Why?
just slowly looks up from his book.
And I kind of look to Ingrid eh?
No.
You know?
You get a unison head shake from the tavern.
And I kind of throw my hands up, and I was like, yeah, I'm just riffing. And then I kind of go back to doing, there once was a hero named Engrin Ai.
Play the one about the blouse. The blousers.
Oh, the blouser. Okay, so apparently,
Oh.
and I try to refute it, but then I go back to playing the Blouser song.
So this map, did it have the names of the towns on it?
Yeah, it would have had the towns on it.
In that case, I probably would have studied it, and can we retcon me saying I've never heard of any villages?
How dare you, retcon!
Yeah, yeah, I think that's completely fine. Yeah, Bushcliff, if you look, is it's very eastern. It's there's a little let-in. It's in the middle of a forest on a cliff.
There once was a woman who had quite the Bushcliff.
Nope.
No.
No.
Bad Jake.
No!
If we were in the same room, I'd bop you on the head.
No!
God. What am I to do with you?
I don't know, kill me.
Theradin has an aneurysm.
Look, Theradin's just trying to have a little fun, okay?
Jake builds Kobold Rogue.
Ooh.
So yeah, you are familiar with the location of the town. Yeah, it is in a little nook along the northern forest on the eastern end. Or the northern end of the eastern forest, I should say.
Yeah, we had a map of the lands at my childhood home, but we kind of assumed that they were all dead.
Far from it. I mean, after the burning, there was a lot lost, but what could be rebuilt was...
The burning?
He raises eyebrows in surprise. You don't know of the burning?
Some people have talked about the burning, but unfortunately, I don't know what it is exactly.
Well, unfortunately, many of us, or none of us really do, as far as I know. There's some that say it was a final attack from the demons, and some believe it to have been the last act of the imperial family, in an attempt to drive them away. But
wait, hold up, wait. There's an imperial family?
Was they the Kavara, excuse me, the Mead, was the center point of the burning.
The Kavara?
You would have known this would have been the capital city in near the center of the continent.
Right.
It's the one with the biggest title on the map.
Yes, I see it now.
Other than, I guess, the continent title, but,
So, Himley, do you know, just off the top of your head, what the royal family's name, what their family name would have been?
I mean, they were the royal family. I guess it would be Ossia, but, I mean, it's just the name of the land,
So does no one know exactly what it was? Like, explicitly their names? Is there any record of their family line?
Oh, sure. If you went to, I believe Black Castle has a great record of the pre-war documents, but I mean, it was Ossia, but you don't go around calling them Mr. Ossia, Mrs. Ossia. It's
the
Your
royal
Highness.
Family. Yeah. Totally. Is there a collective government in the world anymore, or?
No. I mean, there's the coalition in Janswick is probably the biggest you'll find, but most places just rule themselves these days. And as far as the Outer Isles go, nobody's met anybody from them since the war.
Well, thanks for the history lesson there. I don't mean to bore you. I'm just so new to everything. It's very helpful. Thank you.
Yes, I'm happy to help any way I can, my new friend.
I'll be certain to look you up next time I need furs.
And all kinds of cloth goods.
There once was a lady who had quite the bush cliff.
I get up and smack Thiradin in the face.
Hold on, I didn't get you to include the burning part.
No one likes that song.
I don't know, maybe you don't like the song, but some people might like this song, like you! And I point to a guy in the back of the room.
No!
And I kind of shrug and I go back to playing.
I get up close to Thiradin and I whisper into his ear, right now, you're our only source of income. If Marlowe stops liking your songs, then we're going to be out on the street.
Well, why would Marlowe stop liking my songs? I mean,
keep playing songs, like the lady who had... what was it? A bush cliff? What does that even mean?
I don't know.
It just sounds...
I'm an artist. I do what the brain tells me to do,
Well, maybe stick to topics, other topics. Here, why don't, after the meeting tonight, let's sit down, we'll write some songs together. I have some poems. I have some poems in the First Chronicles journal that could be converted into a tune quite nicely.
Are we sure that we should be converting magic spells into music?
They might not be spells. And besides...
that's a first coming from you. I thought everything was a spell.
I'm not convinced that the journal itself is magic anymore. I think that the magic is within us.
I kind of look at him like that's the cheesiest thing you've ever said. Thiradin's such a dumbass. God damn.
I'm excited for character growth. It's gonna be beautiful.
I want him to get beat up by a frog, man.
Oh, he'll get beat up. Don't worry.
All right.
We're doing the fucking long version of rests, and I don't pull punches as a
man.
DM, so you'll break some bones. It'll be fun.
Love that for me. I go back to playing some simple ditties, and we made friends with Himley. Anybody else in the old tavern that would be good to know? Anybody of that Marlowe introduces us to? Anybody in Row that I want to become a Row local. A real down in the dirt with them.
Just settle down, spend the whole
Local?
campaign in town. I like it. It's good. It builds a lot of just depth, which I enjoy.
Yeah. That's me, full of depth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna become a fur trader's assistant.
Whoa.
This is beautiful. As far as other people in the bar, you notice a woman with medium length dark hair. She's standing at the bar talking to Marlowe.
Yeah, and I approach. I finish up probably one of my last songs before we head off to the meeting, perhaps. And I kind of walk over to Marlowe and I kind of tap the counter. Have I made any money from playing?
Roll me a performance.
Love to do it. Man, here we go. All right, that's a 12.
You made 12 copper.
Damn, dude.
I rolled a 1 on the multiplier.
Living like kings.
Nice.
I'll say
Why
a
not
silver of
100
it.
platinum?
Well, I'll say 10 of the copper is from Himley.
Damn.
Excuse me.
Fuck yeah, Himley. Look at us, man.
Yeah, he liked you guys.
And so I walk over and I take out my pocket flask and I put that on the counter. But then I also order. I ask Marlowe to fill that up. But then I also order a nice bottle of his finest spirit, which again I'm pretty sure he only has one kind of spirit.
He does the same thing he did before, where he turns around, looks at all of the jars of identical liquid, and just kind of ooh, and then grabs one at random and sets it down for you.
And then I kind of look over. To the woman and I go, "So, you come here often?"
She raises an eyebrow and looks at the large amount of alcohol that you're ordering and the flask that you're having refilled. You're one of the men that was found in the forest, right?
Well, not found.
That is a
kind
good
of found.
name.
More of discovered in the forest. If you asked me. And then he kind of notices where her Thiradin notices where her glare is, and he goes, "Oh, don't worry, it's all for me."
Splendid. Marla was just telling me that you will be speaking at tonight's meeting.
Right. Well, I think my cousin plans on it. I don't really know what else I have to add to the conversation.
And she then turns her attention to Engrin. That's him over there, and she gets up from the bar to go walk over.
Oh yeah, no. Well, see, actually, that's not him over there. Nah, that's. Hi, I'm Thiradin. What's your name?
Emily Wraith.
Emily Wraith. What a enthralling name. Tell me, Emily.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do in this little this beautiful little hamlet? What brings you here? And I think Thiradin has no idea what he's doing. He's just, I think the bardic energy is just overtaking him at this moment.
His eyes roll back in his head.
As he speaks in 4 voices at once.
Yeah.
He becomes a barbershop quartet.
It's your true form. Oh, God. I tend to horses.
Oh, is that so?
Yes.
Tell me, Emily. What do you want with the two legendary heroes known for taking down the demon?
Legendary heroes, huh?
Well, legendary.
I just want to make sure that, we know what's going on. Don't want to get slaughtered in our sleep by a bunch of demons after all.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't worry about that. Me and my cousin, we did manage to kill one, so...
Really? I look forward to hearing about it then.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was no big deal. Yeah, we just did that. It was something that we did.
Before you passed out?
Pardon?
Word is that you were found unconscious.
Well, yeah, but do you really listen to words, Come on.
Right.
I'm from a city in a wall. And I think he's kind of taken aback by being called out, and then he tries to gain his composure, but all he can muster is the fact that he's a wall boy.
Wall boys.
I think he's and I kind of yeah, kind of from a city, a hidden city, no big deal though.
Right. Well.
I kind of just hang my head.
Yeah, I think she doesn't really know what to say in response to that outburst.
Why don't you go talk to... That's Engrin over there with... he's with the guy named Himley.
The meeting will be soon enough. I'll just, I'll wait to hear from you then.
Yay!
See you later, Thiradin. And she heads out. She waves bye to Marlo.
I grab the bottle, and I take a long...
Marlo just shakes his head at you. That was brutal.
Look, Marlo, I used to be someone,
Uh-huh.
Back home, and now I'm just all mixed up. I don't know what I am. Am I a demon slayer? Am I a parent poet / bard / musical mastermind? Am I just a regular man? I used to know my place,
Why can't you be all those things?
I kind of looked at Marlo that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But I just kind of nod my head oh, Marlo, I respect the business you run. My best friend, other than Engrin, back home, she didn't like me very much. Her name was Julitha. I don't think she would consider me her best friend, but she was always kind enough to me. I owed her a lot of money though.
Speaking of money, it'll
anyway
cost you 7 copper for the.
Oh
the
yeah,
drinks.
of course. And I reach into my pocket, and I give him 8, and I say, you know what, Marlo, for your hospitality and your willingness to give 2 newly lost men a place to hang their hats.
What can I say? I'm a bleeding heart.
Well, probably should see a doctor about that. And I take another long drink of my bottle, and then walk over to Engrin. And by this point, I think the bottle's half empty.
Oh Jesus! Okay.
Just in time for the meeting. Oh,
jeez.
Yep.
Oh, gosh.
This is good news. All right.
Thiradin needs a therapist.
Thiradin does.
Thiradin needs a therapist.
He's have some talks.
Leaving Grovehald is all the therapy you needed.
You're right.
I don't think that sounds...
Escape your problems.
Losing who I was and falling into a deep depression about as fast as I fell off the wall really, really opened my eyes to how great the world is.
Yeah.
This is all terrible mental health advice.
All you need is alcohol.
I'm
There
sure
you
we're
go.
going to see some things that will make you forget all about your earlier problems.
Yeah. You'll get some new problems that just kind of dwarf the old ones. And
Yay! God.
Right.
I go over and I sit down with Engrin, and I go, I tried to talk to that girl. That girl, she was in here,
I was not paying attention to what you were doing. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Moral of the story is, I think I made a good impression.
Well, that's good. That's great.
Yeah. We're making friends. We're making friends here. First we have Himley. Himley, I love you like a brother. Not like my dead brother, though. My dead brother was better than you. But don't take that the wrong way.
Not at all.
Because you're still alive, and he's dead. And he's a goatherd now.
He just died a few days ago.
Oh,
God, has it only been a few days?
My condolences.
Oh, yeah, don't mention it. He's a goatherd now.
He gives you a confused look, but doesn't question it.
Hey, Engrin, you should try this stuff. It's pretty good. And I kind of lift the bottle and take another long swig.
Yeah, here, I'll take it. I take it from him and I...
No. This one's mine, though. So
Sure,
that's.
I'm
there's
gonna
no
try to
problem.
take it out of your hands, though.
Let's do an athletic or a strength check.
You should share with your cousin. It's the nice thing to do.
I'll give him copper to buy his own, but this
I
is
got
mine.
a 24 athletics.
You got a fucking what?
I got a 24 athletics check.
All right.
Yeah, Engrin's
all right.
buff now.
Oh, Jesus, I forgot magic gave him power.
Yeah, I got muscles.
All right.
Yeah,
got
he
a
had that
10.
Spider-Man, just like you wake up buff suddenly.
I like to imagine it's like when Gon actually started fighting Neferapito, and he just becomes an adult all of a sudden.
Are
Yeah.
you speaking English, boy?
You have
What
that,
is
that
this?
big level up. I'm
It's-
sorry. We're just being weebs over here. Don't mind us.
God damn, support the weebs.
Yeah.
You take my bottle. I got a 10.
And as that happens, I'm gonna turn around and pretend to take a swig and reach into my pouch and pull out one of my pre-made hangover helper drinks. And I'm gonna hand that back to him while is the alcohol bottle, can it cork? Or can it
I'm gonna say it's just like a mason jar. You just screw the lid back on.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna stuff that back into my pouch. Is that sleight of hand?
Yeah, if you want to do it sneakily, then yeah, it'd be a sleight of hand, I guess, against Thiradin's passive perception.
I got a 7, so I don't think it's gonna pass.
No. Then yeah, Thiradin, you can definitely notice that he is putting it in his bag, but it's also worth noting, Engrin just kind of plucked it out of your hand like it was no contest.
Yeah.
You're not used to that happening with Engrin.
I'm going to blame the alcohol.
Makes sense.
And then I kind of I'm holding his hangover cure, and I go, oh, geez, thanks, cuz. And I stand up, and I kind of walk over to the bar, and I hand it to Marlo, and I say, hey, keep this safe for me, okay?
He takes the jar and looks at it. What
I'll
is
get it
it?
later. I'll get it later.
But what?
Oh, hey, actually, guess what? You should talk to my cousin. He makes that.
But what is it?
You could sell it. You could sell it here.
That's intriguing. But what is
big
it?
money. Be big money. Big money business.
Don't take that from him. He needs to drink that.
Yeah, he'll set it back down in front of Thiradin. What is it?
It's a blend of herbs that I have found can be helpful in sobering a person up and preventing them from suffering the next day.
I would actually be interested in that concoction.
Demon water.
I could certainly give you the recipe.
For a price.
Sure, I mean, I'm glad to help out a friend.
For a price.
Happy to hear it. And I would be more than willing to pay for it.
And that's why we love you, Marlo.
Thiradin, I think it is time to go to the meeting if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I think you're probably right.
Marlo looks out the window. It's about that time. Himley, will you keep an eye on the bar for me? Himley raises his glass. Excellent. Well, we should head out then.
After you two, I shall take up the flank.
He leads the way out of his bar and then down towards the southern end of town where there's a courtyard between a bunch of buildings. It's a little circular path.
As we walk, I'm humming There Once Was a Lady from Bushcliff.
Marlowe looks slightly annoyed. But
he'll get over it. I've spent, every dime I've made so far at his little tavern. Just give me a chance to...
You guys arrive at the meantime. The sun is starting to set. People have lanterns and torches out, lighting so everybody can see. And some kind of like fruit crate or something has been set up at one end for somebody to stand on and speak. And Marlowe starts off the meeting by heading over and taking a step up, looking around. Are we missing anybody? Excellent. Well, in this case...
I'd like to stand by Janet, if that's cool.
You spot Janet in the crowd and make your way over to her. She gives you a wave and a smile. How's it? How are you two feeling?
I'm doing fine. We probably shouldn't let Thiradin talk, though.
Oh, okay. She looks alarmed and then eyes Thiradin.
It's not abnormal.
And I give her a bit of like I give her like a 2-finger salute.
His yes, you mentioned the drink.
Yes, he's quite fond of it.
That's really not great for you, but I don't know. What do I know? I'm a doctor. And Marlowe up on the pedestal says, "Right, so everybody, I believe, knows why we're meeting here, but just to make sure we're all on the same page, we're here because there was the sighting of what we believe to be a demon down to the old tower to the south. It was spotted, first spotted by Cecil and his crew, and that's where they found the newcomers to town, who you might have heard of." And he motions over to Thiradin and Engrin.
I give a thumbs up.
I give a bow.
If they would be so kind as to take a step up here, I'm sure I'll be very interested to hear what happened.
Yes, of course.
I make my way up.
Oh no. I'm gonna make my way up first.
I see him hurrying. I try to make my way up firster.
Roll me I'm gonna say acrobatics challenge to see who can weave through the crowd and get up there first. Unless you just want a mad dash like roughhouse sprint, and then it's athletics.
22.
Ooh, if we're doing athletics, then I got a 24.
Well, I did acrobatics. I'm not pushing through people. I'm being a gentleman.
Well, I do want to like physically try to prevent Thiradin from getting up there.
Okay, yeah.
No. And as we get closer, I kind of like shake him off. Like, no, I'm fine. Look. And I kind of motion myself.
As you guys are making your way through, Thiradin, you cut ahead a bit, but Engrin's still right near you in the small crowd. As you go to step up onto the box, you're stopped by Engrin's very firmer than you ever remember his hands being, on your shoulder.
Ooh,
Can we also say that Engrin grew like 2 inches?
Yeah.
My darling.
Yeah. As you turn and look over your shoulder, you're used to like
Kind of being taller than my little cuz.
Yeah, and he's not as tall as you now, but when you look, you see that where you used to see his eyes, there's now his mouth. And you have a little bit of, in your drunken buzz, like that's not right.
That's not right. Yeah. Yay, magic! Yeah, okay. Like, I'm not gonna fight Engrin. Like, if Engrin wants to go up first, he can go ahead.
Then the stage is all you.
Sweet. Hi everybody. As you may know, me and my cousin are from Grovehold. My name is Engrin Ai, and this is Thiradin Ossran. We didn't expect to find so many people so quickly when we left. It's been a pleasant surprise meeting all of you in the past couple days, or the ones that I have met at least. But I suppose we're not here to talk about that. We did indeed fight what seemed to be a demon. Its description matched the tales of old. And, you know, should I just explain what happened?
Yeah, Marlo off to the side nods, and if you would.
We came upon a tower to the south of here, apparently. And there we met Hog and the gang, a group of kobolds who I hear you're familiar with as a town. They were a little standoffish at first, but we were able to make friends with them. I should add that before we left Grovehold, we did discover a secret crypt beneath the town, where we found many magical artifacts that seemed to be quite aged.
You see people murmur a bit at this.
Did you really need to add the artifacts bit?
One of them was... I did. One of them was a orb, which I believed would channel magic, but as we got closer and closer to your town and farther from our town, it began to pulsate. Eventually, it began pulsating very quickly, and Thiradin here threw it away from us, where the demon flew down and destroyed the orb. Thiradin, I believe you have more insight on the orb itself, but if anyone has any specific questions, we can address that later. It was about 8-9 feet tall, steel-clad. I attempted to communicate with it and make friends with it, because I've never been completely assured that the demons really were evil, until it started attacking us. Our kobold friends were unable to do any damage to it, it seemed, but then as we started fighting it, I hit it with my sword here, a sword that I also found in said crypt beneath the mill, and we were able to destroy it. But then we were both suffering from a fever, and then we woke up in your hospital. Does anyone have any questions or further comments?
I take a swig from my flask, and then I put my flask back, and then I reach into my bag, and I pull out the demon stone, and then I kind of like lift it up, and I go, "We also found this thing."
Yes, we both have stones of power.
No, this is a different stone. This is demon, I got it from the demon.
Oh, right, that stone, yeah. That's a separate...
Different stone. A lot of stones, to be honest.
Yeah. Forgive us for our inability to describe all of this magic stuff. We were unaware that magic actually existed up until a few days ago.
Yeah, hey, Engrin, let's ixnay on the whole sheltered lifestyle.
Well, I mean, personally, Thiradin, if anyone has any insights onto magic or anything to teach us, I'd love to learn. I
don't want them thinking that we're a couple of rubes. You know?
I'm coming into this world with open arms. I am not afraid to admit who I am.
Okay, well, it seems like, Engrin, your openness and your calm does have some kind of positive effect. Roll me a persuasion with advantage.
I got a 17.
People seem alarmed and worried, but there's no kind of mass panic going on at all. Marlo turns to you, Thiradin. Do you have anything to add?
Well, I hiccup and I kind of take the stage. My cousin, actually, he told the story pretty well.
Marlo seems to have realized his mistake.
See, I don't want to freak anybody out. Freak, is that a word that you guys use here? Freaked out? Is that a
We know the term.
It's kind of... I kind of straighten myself out, and I kind of like, take my shoulders back, trying to make myself look presentable. But before I do that, I reach and grab my flask again, take another swig, and put it back, and I'm still kind of standing at attention. What my cousin said is true, but I think he underplayed how difficult it was to kill it. The demon, that is. None of you have ever seen demons before, right? Right. To be honest, I thought you were all demons. Still think some of you might be. I'm not really sure how demons work. Anybody a demon?
No, I don't think anybody here's a demon, Thiradin, and
Thank you.
upfront with you.
Unless it's like a Battlestar Galactica situation.
See, yeah, unless you're all demons.
To be upfront with you two, we don't know much about demons out here on the edge. We're not a town of scholars or historians. We're simple people. We produce some woven goods. We produce furs, but we don't. We're not used to the kind of events that are going on or have taken place.
Believe you me, we're not exactly master adventurers ourselves. I guess if I had to say anything, it would be this. And I kind of like look out among the crowd. We're obviously living in unprecedented times, and we don't really know why the demons are back. And maybe we never will, and they might kill us all. Thank you all so much for coming. And I step back and kind of go to Engrin. I think that went pretty well.
Jesus. Roll me a persuasion with disadvantage.
Sweet.
Or no, you know what? Just roll me an intimidation.
Oh, nice.
Just flat. For your last comment of panic-inducing. Terrible.
23.
Right, yeah. The mood has turned... the mood was not great before you spoke. The mood has turned dire. It's pretty solemn, but people seem very afraid. You see Emily Wraith making her way towards the stand and steps up, giving a brief nod at Marlowe, and he kind of, does like a, yeah, go ahead. I don't got anything.
And as she walks by, I go, hey, Emily, how you doing?
She gives you a curt smile, but it's,
I kind of give
pressed
her
lips,
like one of those, hey, what's up? Like the nods,
She doesn't seem like...
I hope...
Yeah. Nah. Not read the room.
Well, I made when you build the room.
Yeah. When you have...
God, I'm so glad my wisdom and intelligence are so low. It's just...
Yeah, so Wraith takes the stand, and she kind of does some like hand motioning for people to calm down and quiet. And after a second or two, the murmurs cut out. Right. Well, having heard, we've been told, and from the conversations I've had with Cecil and his people, they seem to corroborate it. I propose that we pool our funds and send some people off to the east, Greymont, and then if Greymont won't help, to Janswick, but send them to tell the greater powers what's going on and see if they'll send men, send anything they can to help us out. At the meantime, I think we should be vigilant. Maybe Cecil and his crew would be willing to to go scout the area some more. Is there anybody here who would be willing to volunteer for the journey? It shouldn't take more than a week and a half, maybe looking at 2 weeks to get back.
I think Engrin would step forward.
Thiradin kind of looks at Engrin like, what the fuck are you doing?
There's enough room on the platform that you could step up if you want to. Or you can just step forward in the crowd.
As someone who was there in the first fight and lived, I feel as though my help would be useful.
She nods. It's true, it would most likely be best to get your first-hand account. If you would be willing to do this, we would be very much in your debt.
Whoa,
I do have a condition.
And I step up I try to step up too onto the platform.
There is not enough room for 3 people, but
All right.
I think we should attempt to find Hogg and his crew and question them as well and see if they saw anything else.
With all due respect to my cousin, and I'm kind of saying this now from behind them.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, she turns and looks down at you.
with all due respect to my cousin, everyone, we are not, us combined, we're not really fit for cross-country treks. If there's anybody who'd be more capable, perhaps, what's his name? Kessel?
Cecil.
Cecil! Which one's Cecil? I'm kind of pointing my finger out across the crowd looking for him.
Cecil waves. Yes, you haven't met Cecil. Only only Engrin did.
Cecil, my good man. This is a job for you, a man who I've heard is quite skilled in the ways of sneaking and shooting and attacking things.
You flatter me, and I of course would happily volunteer. Though I do agree that perhaps there is work in watching the area that. Well, I guess I could leave my men here and leave them in charge. Tilda knows how to run the crew effectively. We could part ways for a moment.
Fantastic. In that case, Cecil's got this. Everyone clap for Cecil, and I start clapping.
Yeah, there's a weak applause, and I'll say as you turn back, Emily looks disappointed for sure. She's looking at you like you're, I don't know, a drunk coward. Mostly because you are, but, you know.
Okay. I'm rolling a d20 to see if how prideful I am. I'm pretty fucking prideful.
So, in that case, it will be Cecil and Engrin going.
Wait, no, Engrin's not going, though. That's the thing. If Cecil's going, Engrin's staying here.
What does Engrin have to say about that? She turns back to you.
Thiradin, I'm going to go.
I'm gonna go. You're
chance.
doing what?
I'm going to go. We may have a chance to learn more about the world here. I intend to take that chance.
Why don't we go north to the place where the library, right? Marlowe.
Perhaps this is something that we should let them discuss and decide late. And Emily darts him a stern glare, and he starts stepping back down. Or now we can decide this now, while we're all here.
Yeah, we could decide it now while we're all here. Listen to her. I think it's best we're outsiders. Everyone, hey. And I kind of like raise my hands in kind of a drunken like, oh God, maybe we shouldn't be getting involved with this. It was just luck. It was luck.
Wouldn't you? Didn't you just say that you are the ones that brought the demon?
Not brought it. We didn't bring it. It's he's not like a friend of ours. We didn't.
No, you said
send him a letter, tell him to meet up.
The boy clearly said there was an orb and it glowed and the demon came to it and you brought it from your city.
that was actually more of like an allegory. You know?
No. We did bring an item that it seems the demon was attracted to. I was unaware that it was related to the demons at the time, and to be fair, I was hoping the demons would be a little more willing to listen to discourse. But yes, we did unintentionally bring the demon.
Well, okay.
There's murmuring.
we didn't bring the demon per se. The demon simply found us. So we're innocent.
Followed us, maybe?
No, it was a chance encounter. Chance encounter.
As you look around, nobody is looking at you like they believe you, Thiradin. In fact, most people aren't looking at you. They're looking more to Emily and Engrin. Well, Emily, I'll say she hasn't stepped down, but she stepped off to the side a little bit.
Engrin, quick sidebar.
What?
Quick sidebar.
What?
And I kind of pull him off the stage, and I go, I really, look, I understand. I truly do. I understand wanting to be the hero, and I know that we both have those weird dreams, but us, we don't know what's out there. You almost got killed by a frog, okay?
I didn't almost get killed by the frog.
Oh,
we made friends.
You didn't make friends. The frog almost killed you.
No,
Look,
me and the frog worked out our differences.
Look, it's all fun and games to find cool magic bows and swords and shit, and almost get killed by frogs, but we're not adventurers, okay?
Thiradin.
We're what?
We have gained power.
Oh, good, great. So what? We don't know how to use this power.
If we leave Row, we can learn.
But if we leave, what happens? What happens next? You know?
I don't know. Wait, why are you asking me?
Right. Are you sure you want to do this?
Look, all they're asking us to do is visit the next town, ask the people in power there to lend their help to Row.
Right.
Who said it's even dangerous? The demons could attack anywhere, as you so clearly know. Does it matter if we're here or there when it happens?
I guess not. Okay. Sure. If this is what you want to do, I'll go with you.
You see that, everybody? He's gonna go with me.
There is a general look of approval, but people aren't like huzzah. Everyone, I mean, the mood's still sour as hell. Marlowe does give you a nod, Thiradin, like good, do the right thing, and
it's not really. Then you go, Marlowe.
yeah. And
motherfucker, put your life on the line.
Yeah. Then Emily resumes. Excellent then. Well, in that case, we can all pool together some money for supplies, and so that you have some while on the road. You'll need to send a letter back by Hawk when you arrive and are able to speak.
By what?
Hawk?
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar.
What the hell is a hawk?
It's a very fast bird.
Perhaps Cecil should be in charge of the hawk.
You can just...
Yes.
No.
Is the hawk deadly?
Did I pronounce that correctly?
You just go to a place and, you give them money and they send out the hawk for you.
Why are we dealing with birds? I don't understand.
So that you can send a letter back and you don't have to walk back. Saves time.
Oh, is it a magic bird?
No, it's just a bird. It just flies.
Why not, a common bird, like the yellow bird, or...
Yes, or the red bird.
Exactly. Red birds are so reliable.
She just looks dumbfounded.
Perhaps even the common ground bird.
The ground bird.
Are you... okay. We can talk specifics after this.
Wait, can you send messages with tiny long-eared dog?
She's stopped for a second and looks over at you like, Oh my God, he's he's an idiot. He's like,
we're your last hope, motherfucker.
Yeah, even she, who was kind of like the driving energy behind all of this, seems a little let down and broken. We'll discuss the specifics of your journey later, but for the night we should put together a pool, figure out how much this is going to cost all of us.
Yes, and we should do that over drinks.
No, we can just do it here now. It'd be a little bit easier.
Or we could do it over drinks.
I think you've had it.
Thiradin, why don't you just go to the bar and drink yourself, and we'll handle the adult matters.
This is excellent news.
I don't know.
And she kind of gives you a wave like you're free to leave.
I'm an adult. I'm older than you. Yeah, okay. I walk back. I shuffle back to the bar.
You make your way back to the bar. Himley's inside, sitting at his table, drinking, and he waves to you. The meeting's over.
Oh, hey. Hi. Hey, Emily.
It's, that bad, huh?
Well, I got sent. I think I made a bit of a fool of myself.
Was Wraith there? You seemed to have, well, I didn't catch anything that was said from over here, but
yeah. Well, once again, I think that actually went really well. I think all things considered, me and her have really hit it off. I'm just talking, just the general attitude of. Hey, how dangerous are the roads?
Oh, they're not too bad. Most of the time.
No, like demons and.
Oh no,
You've never
demons.
seen a demon, right?
No, a demon, no. I mean, there are other monstrosities and such, but they mostly don't approach the roads. It's more the general wilderness you have to worry about. And bandits are not much of a problem in this area.
What's a bandit?
They're like they're somebody that makes you give them your money and then maybe also your nice stuff, and then they leave.
So they're like an arbiter.
Not in the way I'm familiar with the term, I must say, but
I do hate arbiters. I used to be an arbiter. Well, not me personally, my family. So I guess you could say that we used to be bandits as well, then.
He gives you a bit of a confused but wary look.
Bandit.
I wouldn't go throwing the term around. They're criminals.
I'm a a criminal.
But that's not, I don't think that's supposed to be the voice you use.
Bandit. Bandit. Anyway, Hemsley.
Here, friend, you look like you need some rest. Why don't you take a nice tall glass of water and maybe a little one of mead and, kick your feet up, relax for a bit.
When did Engrin become so... well, he's always been confident, but just... He's really thriving out here. You know?
Good, that's good, right? He's your cousin?
Oh, it's great. This is exactly what he wanted, but I don't know if I should have come.
Well, I can't speak for that, but I'm glad I've met you. You seem like a nice fellow.
Emily, let me tell you, out of all the people that I've met, you are one of them. And I do appreciate that about you.
And that wit. I think you'll be okay. Smart kid like you.
I'm gonna die.
We're all good to die, but you know.
I think I'm going to die quite quicker than others, probably by some demon that Engrin summons.
Well.
But I guess you can never go back home, can you? And I take out my flask, and I down my flask, and I kind of like pat Himley on the back, and I go back. I go up to our room.
Right. Okay. You go off to sleep. Meanwhile, Engrin, you are able to discuss travel plans, and they gather together gold for paying for your guys' trip. You guys get 4 gold and 5 silver for your expedition out east.
Engrin, I'll let you keep track of that money. That can I'll let you be seeing as you are the responsible one.
Yeah, I have that money.
I'll just keep track of my drinking money.
For sure.
I support this. Once the meetings ended, Emily and Marlo will be talking to you. And I'll say, unless Engrin, unless you want him to go, Cecil will stay and help around here since you guys are volunteering.
Yeah, I mean, if Cecil wants to stay, that's fine with me.
Cool. Then yeah, you guys are given the gold, and Emily takes you back to she and Marlo and you and a man who owns like a general goods shop here in town go back there, and he adds into with the gold an area map that he lays out, and as he lays it out, you see that the map looks a bit different than the one you studied as a kid.
Oh. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So yeah, they
Womp womp.
lay it out on a table or on the counter, and Emily starts tracing the route that you'll want to take over to Greymont, not reacting to the map because she's used to it.
Where did all of the land go? What's the hole in the middle? Did it sink?
What?
All of the maps I've studied of the continent.
She looks up at Marlo. He doesn't. They don't know about the burning. Oh, well, that's the burning. And motions at the giant hole in the center of the continent.
Is it full of water?
Yes, it's become an inland sea. It happened several hundred years ago, and well, you know, the center of the continent was exploded, and
How?
I mean,
What?
eviscerated. There was a great light, from what is told, and fire, lots of fire. The mountains melted back, and well, after that, the demons stopped coming. But we lost a lot.